What's up, guys? You're listening to or watching another episode of Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. In this episode, we're going to talk about the essential strategies for creating a competitive edge beyond just having great products. You need to create a moat around your brand in 2024. It's not simply enough to have just a great product selling on Amazon or even on your website. You need to give your customers, your audience, a reason to purchase your products and stick around and be a part of your brand and your community long term if you want to survive in this competitive landscape. In medieval times, you'll sometimes see the photo or video or in a movie depicted in, a story or something, a moat around a castle. A moat being, that river or stream or ditch, canal of water surrounding the castle to provide one more protective barrier for your fortress so that the enemies can't get through the moat or easily access, the gate of your castle or your village to pillage and plunder. I believe that in 2024 and moving into the future of e-commerce, you need to create a similar type of moat around your brand so that when the enemies or the competition or the Chinese brands, come and try to knock off your products or steal your ideas or take advantage of maybe an opportunity that you created to protect yourself again from all those different enemies or competitors. So in this episode, we're going to talk about some different ways that you can create a moat around your brand. Now, a moat is not going to do much for you if you don't have a great product. So we could say our great product is like our castle. If you don't have a nice, good, strong castle, then the moat is kind of really pointless, right? So it all starts with having a great product. I don't feel like we shouldn't have to say that in this episode, but you want a product that's high quality, innovative, and usable, right? So you want to make sure that your product is, excelling in the marketplace and solving a customer want or need. But again, in today's market, a great product alone is not enough. You need to continually innovate, continually release new products, release new offerings to your audience in order to stay relevant. You think about the Kodak story, right? Kodak, one of the, biggest players in the camera market space, but nowadays they're almost irrelevant. Kodak started, making film, and they actually were even one of the first people to create the camera. So they were pioneering the camera marketplace back in, I think, the early 1900s. But once photography started to evolve and adapt to the digital age, Kodak refused to accept the changes that were coming, and they fell by the wayside. They said everyone's using film, everyone's going to keep using film. Why would people use digital cameras? And then you saw Fuji and Sony and Canon and all these other companies start to emerge and completely dominate digital camera landscape, whereas Kodak, I don't remember the exact numbers, but they've lost millions and millions of dollars and laid off tens of thousands of employees from what they had just, 20 to 30 years ago. I tell my students this all the time, but building a successful brand is likely going to take more than one product. It's very, very rare in today's, e-commerce world that you can launch one product and build, a full life around that one product. So likely you're going to need multiple products, multiple product lines, multiple variations in the future if you want this to become, a viable long-term business or ultimately, right, a full-time income for yourself. So in order to do that, you really need to think about community and brand loyalty, right? Because you might start your brand with one product and that product might do really well for you. But again, the competition's going to come. The competition inevitably will come, especially if your product is super successful. So in order to stay relevant, in order to stay competitive, you need to be continually, like we said, innovating, creating those new products, those new variations. But in order to keep people coming back to your brand for those other product lines, those other variations, those other product offerings, you need to create a community around your brand. You need to build some sort of brand loyalty. How do you build community? How do you build brand loyalty? It's all about relationships. You have to establish relationships with people. Most importantly, right, your customers. So how can you do this? You can do this through engaging on social media. You can do this through hosting live events if it makes sense for your brand. You can do this by creating forums, by emailing, by, going live on YouTube. All the different social media platforms, obviously, or website, blogging, all that kind of stuff would fall under this category of engaging with your community, building relationships. But I think it's something that as Amazon specific sellers, we tend to overlook. We tend to think that Amazon is, this amazing platform where people are coming, searching for products to purchase and buy. So we don't have to do any of that. Now, while that is mostly true that, people are going to come on Amazon looking for products, and if you optimize for search terms and all that stuff, you will make money and you will get sales. But again, we're talking about the long-term viability, relevancy of your brand and of your products. Because if you're not building those communities, if you're not building those relationships, putting your brand out there outside of Amazon to establish those long-term relationships with people, then as things change in the market, competitors show up, maybe there's another COVID catastrophe, shipping rates skyrocket, or competitors knock off your product ideas, all those things that happen that are kind of out of our control. If you don't have that community, that brand loyalty, those people are going to leave. Those people are going to go purchase those products from an alternative brand that they do feel either a better connection with, or that simply has a lower price. If you have no community, if you have no relationship with your customers, you're going to have to compete on price. You're going to have to compete on price. If someone has no reason, no emotion to purchase from you, they're probably just going to go purchase from someone else. That's either a better quality or simply a better value. A great example of a brand that does really good job with community and brand loyalty is Harley Davidson. You look at Harley Davidson, motorcycle riders, they are a community. They are brand loyal. They're wearing the gear, they're riding the bikes, they're going to the meetups, they're in the Facebook groups, they're in the forums, they're subscribed to the YouTube channels. They have built a community, an identity around their brand and around their products that some of the other motorcycle brands out there simply don't have, or at least don't have at the level of Harley Davidson. Another way that you can create this moat around your brand is by providing exceptional customer service. A great example of this is Zappos, the shoe company. If you've never heard of Zappos, or you've never heard of their customer service, you should go look it up online. It's pretty crazy. The CEO basically came out and said, our customer service model is make the customer happy. Their customer sales reps go through 4 weeks of training simply about how can they make the customer on the other end of the phone line happy by the end of their phone call. Now, when we're talking about selling on Amazon specifically, this gets a little kind of difficult to digest. And even from my perspective, I wonder sometimes, how can we deliver exceptional customer service when we're selling on Amazon, when Amazon is responsible for most of the customer service? Amazon is responsible for, handling returns and processing returns, or, Amazon is shipping out the product. So if there's issues there with like slow shipping, or where's my package, or I don't want this, I want to send it back, that's all really at the mercy of Amazon, which on one side of the coin is really nice and really convenient because we don't have to deal with it. But on the other side of the coin, it can be frustrating. We've gotten 1-star feedback for our brand because products said that they were delivered to a customer and the customer couldn't find them on our porch. So they go and, leave us a 1-star review, even though that's Amazon's responsibility. So when we talk about providing exceptional customer service, I would say, one, make sure that you are, if you're selling on Amazon, responding to those buyer messages. You will get buyer messages from time to time of people asking questions about their orders and whatnot. Make sure you're responding to those quickly, promptly, and obviously in a way that's going to make the customer happy. But I think outside of Amazon, there's ways that you can provide exceptional customer service, whether that's, building an email list and emailing customers, new tricks or tips or things that relate to your product or to your niche, answering questions, giving your time to people who maybe are messaging you on Instagram or social media about your products, about your services. I would say nothing is more frustrating than, you're thinking about buying a product from a brand. And I think the products that are coming to mind for me right now are fitness related products. Like maybe there's supplements or equipment. I think about, foam rollers and all sorts of stuff like that I might use at the gym. And I might have a specific question about a supplement, about maybe what's the ingredient, what's their most recommended flavor that they recommend and whatnot. Nothing is more frustrating than when you try to message a brand. Maybe they have an Instagram account, or maybe you find a customer support email. You email them or message them on social and they never get back to you, or it takes them a week to get back to you, or they don't answer your question. Maybe they're just not educated enough on what you're hoping to, what question question you're asking them when it's like related to their specific product because, they've outsourced it to some VA who has no idea what they're doing. That can be really frustrating. So just thinking about those types of things too, like respond to questions, respond to comments, answer your messages that you're getting for your brand, and even be proactive, especially when you're new and you're growing. Be proactive in providing exceptional customer service, meaning like, let's say someone buys your product on Amazon and you get tagged on Instagram. Send that person a message proactively, thanking them for their purchase, asking them if there's any questions about the product. Are there any issues? Is there anything that you can help with? Can you send them a discount for a future purchase? I think being proactive in customer service can go a long way as well. Another way that we can create this moat around our, products in our business is by developing a unique brand identity. Now, I think a lot of people get confused here when they're starting e-commerce brands thinking, oh, I'm going to be successful because I'm going to have a really cool brand. I'm going to have a really catchy, clever brand name. My logo's going to look really sleek and professional. I don't know, maybe I'm going to have like really high-end photos. That simply is not enough. That is not a brand. That is a portfolio. That's a branding kit, but that's not an actual brand identity. Not only do you need a visual identity, but you need values. You need a brand voice. You need something that you stand for. You need something connect emotionally with your audience, whether that's through content, whether that's through images, photos, videos, right? Or whether that's, again, kind of more through the values, through the mission statement, or maybe it's just simply through the community itself. Like you think about big brands like Nike or whatnot, it's through the athletes that they endorse. There's a reason that people gravitate maybe towards Under Armour or Nike or Adidas or whatever the brand is, because maybe they really like Lionel Messi, or maybe they really like LeBron James, or maybe they really like some, tennis star or Formula One or golf or whoever it is. They might gravitate towards a brand simply because of the people who are part of that community. So again, thinking about all those types of things with your brand identity, it's more than just the visual identity, but the values, the community, the people, what you stand for, the messaging, all those things that someone wants to be a part of and connect with and feel like they belong. That's what's going to help people, again, kind of going back to the beginning there, build that relationship, build that community, and have that brand loyalty. Guys, the number one takeaway that I want you to get from this episode today is that it's not simply enough to have a great product. You need to do more. You need to be willing to do more. Now, whether you are doing that yourself or you're outsourcing that to someone else, you need to be able to do more outside of Amazon. Now, this is something that we've focused on over the past, 8-9 months or so with our agency. So I launched my agency Weavos in the end of 2023 because I saw this need. I saw this need for people to do more. And maybe people really like posting on social media and creating videos and whatnot, but they really don't want to spend time doing their Amazon PPC, or they don't want to spend time doing their optimizations or their sourcing or their management or their photos or all those other, aspects of their Amazon business. So we launched our agency to help people do that. So whether you're looking for, monthly account management just on a smaller scale of PPC or on a larger scale of full account management, or you're looking for even one-time services, guys, we've opened this up to be able, again, to help you do more, to help you focus your time and energy where you want to focus your time and energy. So again, just hit me up, or you can visit my website, andyisom.com or weavos.io. We've got information on both those websites to help you guys get the help you need, right? Get the help you need to, again, build this moat around your brand, around your business, to protect yourselves from the competition, from the knockoffs, the enemies, I guess we could say, to make sure that you can have a viable long-term business. Guys, I really, really appreciate you guys leaving the reviews. If you're watching this on YouTube, a simple thumbs up will do the trick. If you're listening to the podcast, hitting those 5 stars for me, just that action simply alone really, really helps me out. So thank you guys so much for taking the time to do that. Once again, I'm Andy. You're listening or watching Selling on Amazon with Andy Isom. We'll see you in the next episode.